Oh, wow. Whew, goodness gracious, that joint did something to me. What's going on YouTube? This is SCL0320. Believe it or not, I've never wanted to look at the Talking Dead so much. I'm gonna have to get the Talking Dead immediately and look at it, just because I want to look at all different things that are about to kind of go down. And tonight's episode of The Walking Dead season finale is probably one of the best episodes they've done. I don't think they've done a 90-minute or a 2-hour episode since like the first season, because I think the first season was 2 episodes long. It was the first and second, but this one for the 5th season, they went in hard. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 2 different videos. I was gonna do like a half and half, but I feel like I'd be doing y'all a disservice. I'd rather do one review and then the next one and talk about all the different spoilers. And this one is just gonna be a straight and narrow kind of video. So the way that things are lined up from the last episode, Rick losing his gosh darn mind and about to kill Pete because Pete almost killed his wife and was losing it and beating his children and beating his wife, and told in front of everybody, like, look, you better back up, and y'all don't understand that this is not the way you're gonna be able to survive. This is not how you're gonna be able to thrive. Like, he was letting it all out, and it was just it built up the elevation of this episode, because the first thing you see this episode is a friendly face that you would never expect in Morgan, and that's the only spoiler that I can say. He is in this episode, but that doesn't mean he's gonna live through it. And how you'll know that is the first part of it. And it's such a, how do I put it? It's a meaty scene because it seems so dangerous and so crazy. I don't know what's gonna go down. But, oh my gosh, y'all, like, the things that Rick has to do and plead his case through, like, I think there was a conversation he had after being bandaged up, after Michonne knocked him upside the head, and he was back at his desk, and Glenn and Carol, Michonne, they all went to him and talked to him, asking him, did he want this? And he said kind of no, but he justified every single thing that he was saying, and I was like, man, he's borderline between Shane and the governor at this point in realizing what he has to do. And it was really thought-provoking. But what I liked about this episode so much was the fact that every single issue that had been brought up, from the priest to Glenn with Nick and what Nick did, to Deanna and Rick, to Pete and Rick and what to do with Pete, all the different things and the puzzles that you're trying to figure out, like, what happened to Tara? Even though Tara got knocked upside the head, she gonna make it out of her coma. What's going on with Michonne? Even though she put her sword up forever, is that something that she's gonna be able to live with? Everything gets answered in this episode, and I think that's why they kept it to 90 minutes. The only thing I hated was all these freaking commercials, but at least the commercials were pretty boss, because I was like, man, they had a freaking Halo 5 trailer with this. I was like, what? But no, what I can say is that there were so many edges to this episode. There's not one stone left unturned. And because of the things that's been happening with the W's that's been carved in the zombies' heads, and they've been dismembered and cut to pieces, you're gonna find out what you're really dealing with. And any of y'all that are comic book fans, if you actually read the comics, y'all will kind of know what this is building up to and what villain is gonna lead into. I've heard that Mark Hamill is potentially going to be that villain. I'm not going to say the name. All I can say is his name starts with the N. But, oh my gosh, like, the pastor, the father, or the priest, whatever his name is, oh my gosh, his story arc is crazy. It's just crazy. But one of the things I loved about this episode is relationship between Michonne and Rick. I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm shipping Michonne and Rick. I feel like Michonne gets the son. She can relate to the son. She's the only person that can really get the gravity and the weight of what Rick has gone through and bring him back over the edge. And I think there's a dialogue that alludes to that. I feel like Rick was going for the wrong girl. I mean, honestly, I feel like if it was all said and done, he should wifey up Michonne. That's just me. Y'all can agree or disagree with that shit. Leave in the comments below. I'm curious what people think about that comment. I'm gonna go in more detail about that in the spoiler review. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Freaking Daryl and what is the guy's name? Aaron? Yo, what they have to go through in this one, and the way that zombies are killed in this episode probably is some of the best deaths I've seen. Like, I want to go back through the memorandum and look at that. Some Talking Dead. It's on right now, right in front of me. Yeah, it goes hard, y'all. It seriously goes hard. I'm trying to think of anything else I can talk about without spoiling anything, but so much happened that I can't do that. All I can say is that the writers added substance to every single character's progression and the connections to all the issues that have come up from this point, from Abraham to everybody. There's not one person that didn't get progression in this episode. Like, everybody did. And then even understandings of different things. Even with Morgan and his small time being in this episode, that gets talked about a lot more as well. So, I mean, I have to give this episode like a, man, I want to give it a 10. I want to say a 9.8 just because it threw me off at the very end of this episode. I thought it was over, and it wasn't. There was more after that scene. I had no idea. And what happened after is kind of how Marvel leaves something afterwards. And it really wasn't that much weight other than, I mean, I kind of felt like it was unnecessary. But that, you know what, I'm not going to take that away from this episode. This episode was great. It was a great season finale. I give it a 10 out of 10. Shoot, it was just sick. So, yeah. It was nuts. Two different things before I end this. I'm gonna be having a full-length open discussion collaboration with Hello Roll Credits or Dell later on this week, even though I'm gonna be putting up my own kind of small spoiler review of this episode because there's just so much that I'm giving y'all flack, in my opinion. I feel like I'm giving y'all nothing. And so I want to be able to have my own expressions of it. I'm not going to go over 7 minutes though. When me and Hello Roll Credit actually do ours, it's going to go who knows how long. And anybody that wants to join in, please let us know in the comment section below, and I'll give you the link and the time when they're actually going to start the open spoiler for the season finale of Walking Dead Season 5. But anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed this non-spoiler review. Please leave your likes below if you did. Please leave your comments below if you're actually interested in grouping in with me and Hello Roll Credits, or even being a part of knowing when it's going to start, and what y'all thought about the episode as well. Please don't leave any spoilers in this one. Leave it in the other one. So I'm going to have the spoiler review starting right now. SCL0320 signing out.